This is problem number 7-19A, and this one starts on the bottom of page 431, continues on to 432. So here we're looking at Happy Wok Restaurant, and the first requirement here is to calculate the contribution, using the contribution margin shortcut to calculate what the break-even sales would be in dollars. So here we have the formula here is our contribution margin per unit divided by your selling price per unit to come up with the percentage ratio. So the contribution margin is, of course, your selling price. So it's always the contribution margin is your selling price minus your variable cost. So $5 less $1.50 divided by the $5.70.70 or 70%. So now what we want to do is use that information to calculate our break-even sales. So when we're talking about break-even, what this means is you're making just enough money to cover your fixed and variable cost, and it means you're not making any profit. So operating profit is zero. So we are given in the problem that the fixed costs are $8,400. We've just calculated that the break-even is 70%. So our contribution margin ratio, rather, is 70. So that will give you $12,000. So when your sales levels are at $12,000, this is going to give you just enough money to cover your fixed and variable cost. Okay, so our second requirement here is to calculate the break-even sales. Requirement 2, rather, is franchising a good idea if the franchisees want a minimum monthly operating income of $87.50. And Lowe believes that most locations could actually generate $25,000 in monthly sales. So now that we know our contribution margin, we can then use that information to see what that would do to us. So if they want, so we know our fixed expenses are $8,400, and if the franchisees want to get an operating income, monthly operating income of $87.50, what this means is they would have to have sales of $24,500. So that would actually work because the company feels they can actually generate $25,000. So that would be fine in this particular example. So it would be a good idea to franchise in this particular case. Okay, so that ends E19.